you may be wondering, Ben, you look terrible. What happened? Well, that's a different story. But you also could be wondering, where are you going 2 days before Christmas? Well, the answer to that is... For those of you who the ideal holiday is, beach, sand, sun, Mauritius is the place to go. It is spectacular. Just on a drive down from the airport, we went across the whole island, went through the mountain range, and headed down to the coast here in Baie. And it's beautiful. It's everything you can imagine from a beach holiday. And I can't wait to get started on all the activities that Mauritius has to offer. Alright, as they say in the land of Zimbabwe, how's it? Which means hi, how's it going? My sister and I, we live in Southwell, Nottinghamshire. My brother Drew lives in Dublin, Ireland. My other brother Zane lives in Cape Town. And our parents live in Harare, Zimbabwe. That's where we grew up. Now, as you can imagine, we don't really get to see each other too often, living so far apart. And once a year, sometimes a little bit longer, we pack our suitcases and we head to a foreign destination to celebrate the end of the year in style. This year we were lucky enough to spend that time together on the lovely island of Mauritius, just off the coast of Madagascar. And we're going to be there for 10 days, our main goal being not to get ridiculously sunburnt. Coming from the northern hemisphere, it is going to be a drastic change. Let's get started. This is where we spent our 10 days. Veranda, Baie. It's on the northwest of the island, about an hour and 15 minutes away from the airport. It has pools, palm trees, and its own little sort of exclusive beach over here, where you could rent kayaks and pedalos and just go out into the bay and get a different vantage point. Look at that sunset. Lovely. And if we take a little tour down through the bar area into the dining room, you'll find where we had most of our meals. It was buffet and pretty much an all-you-can-eat free-for-all. And this is Satan's Gym, officially the world's warmest place to exercise. This is ping pong, supervised by the island's bouncer and chef, and of course there was poolside service, which we took full advantage of. Birds with no boundaries, that's what I'm calling this video. And of course, a veranda. And yes, we were those dorks who checked out snorkel gear in the pool. That's why you get to see this shit. Terrifying, isn't it? Now, our first day was December the 25th, and Santa arrived in style. Now, a beach holiday wouldn't be a beach holiday without beach activities and sea activities. The hotel was generous enough to lend us kayaks and pedalos for our pedaling needs, and this way we got to explore the bay. There was also a little bit of volleyball in the mix. We also liked to play petanque, which became quite competitive. We couldn't find the little wooden ball, so we used seaweed or coconuts and kind of hurled them in the direction of children, a little bit irresponsible. We also tended to use a lot of obstacles to make it a little bit more interesting, kind of like a crazy mix between mini golf and shot put. And then the unexpected turn of events that came was the tubing experience. Being dragged behind a speedboat at increasingly higher speeds by a man whose sole mission is to make you fall off can be quite exhilarating, and as I learned the hard way, quite a good way to lose your pants. But our 10 days together wasn't all spent down in the hotel. There was busy walks into town, eating lunch at a nice restaurant, browsing 70% off sales, drinking down at the docks, more drinking down at the docks, bowling, golf at a very nice, very exclusive golf course. Ooh, good putt. And being attacked by wild dogs. Seriously though, Mauritius has a pretty bad stray dog problem. Everywhere we went there was stray dogs. We also got lost in a oversized mall and watched as other tourists supboarded and skied their way around the bay. And we also attempted lunch in one of the hottest balcony areas I've ever sat in. And after all this holiday, we were exhausted and needed some time to relax. brings us more or less to the end of our trip. Tonight was New Year's Eve, and it was time to celebrate the end of the year. The hotel hosted a banquet, and we were lucky enough to sit on the beach. The food, the decorations, the atmosphere was all incredible, and we were ready to welcome in the new year. I've never been in a place which does fireworks quite like Mauritius does. They started slowly when the sun went down and grew closer together and more spectacular as the night went on, until finally New Year hit and everyone crowded the beach for one of the biggest displays I will likely see in my lifetime. When we left from Heathrow, I expected a great holiday, but I got was so much more. So as we leave to go our separate ways to different parts of the world, I leave with more than I arrived. I leave with the memories that I will treasure for a lifetime.